welcome back to the Joe Show. The last song you heard was Jawbreaker by MGK. Here on Radio GBX, we got Drew Ledger for a special interview.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
So I am from a small town in Massachusetts called Lunenburg. And then in 2011, I moved here to Green Bay. And I've just been living here ever since.
That's great. So then what kind of brought you to Green Bay? Is it just like...
It was mostly family.
Family?
Yeah, my uncle, he's a drummer. He's played with a bunch of different bands, and I think that's where I got my musical skills from, is probably from that side of the family. And yeah, so we just, we're talking about music and everything, and it was nice to be able to spend time with him.
That's great. I'm glad I brought you here, And it's like, speaking of your uncle and stuff, is it like, is there any instruments you play? Like, how many did you like learn from him? Like, how many instruments would you say you know?
I probably know, I want to say like 7 or 8. I play guitar, bass, drums, trumpet, trombone, violin, viola, and I think that's pretty much about it.
Oh, wow. That's a big selection. Do you have like a favorite, and like why do you think would you prefer that one?
Honestly, my personal favorite is guitar. I just feel really powerful when I'm playing it every single time. I feel like, you got great stage presence, and, a lot of people, when they look at a band, they mostly look at the guitarist. So the fact that, I sing and play guitar at the same time, it's like, oh man, all eyes are on me kind of thing. But when I'm playing with my band, I don't want it to be all about me. I want it to be about us. And that's kind of something that I want it to be about.
For sure. I mean, you're like a one-man band yourself, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what inspired you to stop playing music? Like, how'd you get that inspiration?
So I got inspired in 5th grade. I had a guitar lesson with the choir teacher, because we had a guitar unit in choir, believe it or not.
Okay.
And we just I just fell in love with the guitar, and that started like my musical passion. A year after I started taking guitar lessons, and then I surpassed my guitar teacher around freshman year of high school.
Really?
And I've just been playing music, since then, and I've just fell in love with it. Sophomore year of high school, I was in a crabcore band, so we were playing a lot of heavy stuff, and yeah, I just fell in love with music. I feel like music is me. Like, I wouldn't be anything without music.
Yeah, I mean, you're creating all this music yourself. I mean, like, I'm sure there's other people around it, but it's all inspired, from you. And like, describe like what is your process writing music?
So when I'm writing music, what I normally will do is I'll sit down at my desk and I'll think of like a name, literally just a random name. So for example, when I was sitting and I was listening to a song, actually, I was listening to Through the Glass by Stone Sour. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of dig the name Through the Glass, And my first song that I made was actually called Hourglass. And I'm like that was the first thing I thought of, was when I was listening to that song. And I'm like, all right, what if I write a song called Hourglass? And that's how I got the name for Hourglass. And so sometimes my writing process will be, I sit down with an instrument and I think of chords first, or I'll sit down and I'll think of lyrics. And I'll just do it interchangeably, and I'll just, go back and forth with everything, see how it fits. And if I like it, it works. But if I don't, then I'll keep the lyrics. I have probably written like 30 songs, and it's all on my phone. I save everything because you never know when you're gonna need it.
Oh yeah.
And because sometimes you create like really good stuff, and the song that you were writing it for doesn't really work out. So you might want to just like hold on to that, but then use it for another thing.
Yeah, for sure. So your process, you say, like, is more consistent, or is it more like very, each time? Because you said you change out the lyrics or the rhythm.
It's kind of it's kind of sporadic.
Yeah.
It's
Whatever you think of to first.
Yeah,
You base it
yeah.
off that, and you kind of just
Yeah.
make everything vibe with it.
Most of the time I am sitting with my guitar and I'm just like strumming some chords and I'm like, ooh, that'd be a cool riff to play. And then I think of some words like just off the top of my head to just sing, and I'm like, okay, that could work. And then I just start writing it down as I'm playing guitar so I don't forget what I said. Or I'll like take my phone and I'll record what I say, and I'm like, okay, this could work. And like that's been the process for most of my songs that I've written. But what I normally do is, just like sit with my guitar and I have my laptop open at the same time and just see what I can knock out.
Yeah. Do you feel like any inspirations when it comes to making music? Like, what are you inspired by?
So most of my inspirations for my previous songs was mostly due to like heartbreak or crushes or just random things, random things like that. And I think it's really cool that you take something that could either like break you down and you just use it to build yourself up. So, for example, I gotten, my heart broken back in November last year, and I just started writing out Hourglass, and that's what that song is mostly about. And then Circles was due to having that same person like text me and giving me mixed signals, and I didn't appreciate that. So that's why I wrote the song Circles, is because I felt like I was going in circles over again.
Yeah.
And so all of my songs were written to describe what was going on in my life at that time.
Yeah, you just kind of take some of those emotions and just kind of channel that into the song, and that's kind of, how you made that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly just like that.
For sure. So you're releasing a new song called Euphoria.
That's correct.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So I plan on recording and releasing a new song called Euphoria at the end of December. But I might have to change that date to next year, probably mid-January, early February, only because, I'm going to school, and my producer, he's also busy doing schoolwork as well. So trying to line up our schedules isn't really working so far. So I might have to move that date back a little bit. But I am excited to announce that while we were on break, I have just confirmed that on my new song Euphoria, I'll be having a featured artist on there. His name is Deuce. He performs with a band called Hollywood Undead, and he's going to be singing in my new song Euphoria. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, getting like a feature like that. So what is the process so far with making the song? I know you said it's still like under works, and you might take a bit longer to get the song going now that you're getting this feature.
Yes. So when I was writing this song, I have it all written and laid out how I want it to go. So when I started writing, I just sat down on my computer and I started typing. But it was after I created a guitar lick. I created the guitar lick probably around July, and when I was playing it, I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, this is tasty, and I couldn't quite think of the words that I wanted to go for it, but I started writing, and I'm like, you know what, this guitar riff kind of makes me feel euphoric in a way, so I think I'll name the song Euphoria. And so I named it that, and when I was writing, I was trying to describe euphoria in a sense, to try to get people to imagine what it would be like almost.
Yeah, so like now you're working on the single. Is there any other plans of like an album possibly?
Yes, so next year I plan on releasing a 10-song album, but that's still in the works. I don't have a date for that yet, and those songs are already typed up, ready to record. I just haven't created licks for those yet for instruments. But I am pretty excited to start working on that as well. I might also have Deuce be featured on that as well, but we just got to wait and see.
Yeah, so like, working on this new album too, do you like work on every song kind of sporadically, or are you trying to like, because you're mainly focused on Euphoria?
Yeah, right now I'm mostly focused on Euphoria because that's the one that I want to release first. Get people hyped up for the album that's gonna drop as well. But I am also doing those songs individually as well. Like I'm working on those one by one, and if I sit down and I have like a brain fart for one of the songs, I'll just go ahead and I'll say, what, I'll take a 5-minute break and I'll try doing something else. But if I can't think of anything, then I'll just go to the next song. And then from there, kind of the same process. And I just do that for all the songs that are lined up for my album.
Yeah, so you're making the single for now, and now you once you get the album going, like, is there any like future shows you're thinking about, going to perform at?
Yeah, I am thinking about a couple of different venues to perform at. I don't have anything confirmed yet because that's a decent process to wait for. But my band, we're all ready to go. We're all ready to perform. We just have to wait for venues to get back to us, and we just have to keep waiting and seeing.
Yeah. Are you thinking of anything like more locally?
I am. Yeah, I have a couple of places in mind. But it also wouldn't hurt to play across the state, like Madison or Milwaukee, or I don't know, just like bigger cities as well. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Might also travel to different states as well, but just like keep it in the Midwest.
Okay.
Just until I get a little bit bigger and a little bit more confident and start getting those bigger venues as well.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, hopefully we'll bring you here on campus and give you a live show with your whole band.
Oh, yeah, I would love that.
Yeah. I'm going to pass the mic over to Grace for the next couple of questions.
Hi, everybody. My name is Grace. You can listen to me on Grace's Mixtape on Saturday. I am joining Joe on the Joe Show tonight. So, over the break, we had some very interesting conversations. So we're going to try to transition into some more fun questions that I like to call. So tell me a little bit about an artist that you personally would like to collab with in the future, and like why? Like, what's your dream collab?
All right, so my dream collab is probably Machine Gun Kelly or working with Andy Biersack as like I don't know, like as his Andy Black.
Okay, yep, I'm familiar.
Yeah, only because they're both really good at singing, and like we were all like the same register. Like I'm a bass, I sing bass.
Okay.
Andy, he's more of a baritone, and he just like, oh my god, I love his voice. And Machine Gun Kelly, I would just love to have his stage presence, and just the fact of what he could do for like my career would be amazing.
So just, I mean, you'd like to work with them, obviously they have a similar register of tone of voice to you too, but also just like their stage presence too, to kind of help. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but you also like enjoy their stage presence too. Yes,
I thoroughly enjoy their stage presence. Andy, when he's on stage, he's just so powerful, and you can tell that he's really into it. And then I saw Machine Gun Kelly once, and that was during Summerfest last year.
Okay.
And the reason why I mentioned stage presence is because this dude, he came in on a helicopter, and he just, oh my god, I just love that.
It's that pink helicopter.
Oh yeah, it was the pink
great.
helicopter. Yeah, and that's in like his album cover as well. But I just love that. I love the energy that both artists give, and the fact that they were there for the people was just amazing.
Yeah. So on top of that note, so is in mind, do you have is there a venue that you would dream to play at in the near future, or a music festival that you'd like to play at? I know we've had some conversations over the break about some of this stuff too, but
yes.
Yeah.
So one of the venues that I would love to play at is Lollapalooza.
Okay,
Oh
yeah,
my
down
God.
in Chicago, right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I would love to play at that. that venue brings in so many people, and everyone just like gathers for the same thing, all for the love of music and seeing their favorite artists. And to be part of that would be awesome. Otherwise, playing for New York City's New Year's Eve show, I did have a chance to perform there for this New Year's Eve, but unfortunately, I did not make the cut. I came in. I want to say I came in 5th place out of 320 artists that applied.
That's really awesome.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm very happy. But that lineup is going to have, I want to say, Pink, Blink-182, and then whoever won that contest.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm...
Well, go you. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy and proud of myself that, just a small artist from Green Bay managed to get 5th place for New York's New Year's Eve show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's still mind-boggling, and it's... I wish I could perform that, but...
There's always in the future, too. I mean, you tried, and that's all that matters. And considering 5th place, like, that's out of, like, how many people that auditioned? Like, that's insane. Mm-hmm. Don't let that drag you down, either.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's just a confidence boost right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am ecstatic, and I definitely plan on trying again next year. Mm-hmm. But, I just got a lot more work to do. And hopefully I will be worthy enough next year to do that.
So on that note, again, you and I had conversation over the break. You got me really excited about this. Mm-hmm. So what's the best piece of advice another musician has given you?
Yes. So the best piece of advice that I've ever gotten from a fellow musician was actually from Andy Biersack from Black Veil Brides. This happened 2 years ago when I was talking with him, when I got a chance to meet him. I asked him what it's like to be a musician, or how can I start a music career. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that he said to me was, don't give up and keep your self-confidence high. And no matter what, just always stay with the passion of music.
Yeah. Like they say in their song, never give in, never back down.
Correct. Yep. Never give in, never back down.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah. I love Andy. He's such a cool guy.
I'm jealous. Honestly, it's a dream, but again, it's costly. You gotta plan. You gotta save for that. And mm-hmm. like honestly, I feel like that is definitely the best piece of advice. Honestly, it's simple and it's elegant and it's definitely empowering.
Yes, and honestly, that describes Andy in every word as well.
It does. Yeah. So another piece of what we're talking about over the break. A lot of these are questions we came up over the break. So I know that you're a big fan of Avenged Sevenfold, and something
Correct.
that you were talking to me and Joe about was you had the opportunity like years back to like join them on stage and everything. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's correct. So it was back in January of 2018. They came to the Resch Center, and they were performing with Breaking Benjamin and Bullet for My Valentine. And so I got a chance to meet Avenged Sevenfold, and I was just kicking back with those guys. I got pictures taken, got autographs, and then went back out for the venue. Breaking Benjamin was on when we came back, and I forgot his name, but the singer, he points to me, and he invited me up on stage with like 5 other people.
Wow.
And we just were on stage for Diaries of Jane, and we were able to see like Avenged Sevenfold getting hyped and getting ready to go out just on the background. And, I got a chance to wave to Johnny Christ and Matt Shadows, and just, oh my God, it was a surreal moment.
That's awesome. I dream to someday be right at Barricade, holding a sign like Chris Motionless, handing out roses with Eternally Yours. That is my dream.
Yes.
One day.
One
day,
hopefully soon.
Hopefully. So I know like Avenged Sevenfold and Black Veil Brides, and I know you mentioned you like Falling in Reverse as well. Mm-hmm. what is your all-time favorite artist? Like the one that you listen to all the time, or even like a throwback that you listen to on occasion?
Oh man.
Like, I think I know the answer to this one, but
I'm actually gonna go ahead and throw you for a loop.
Oh.
I was gonna say Machine Gun Kelly,
Yep.
which I'm pretty sure you were expecting. But it's actually Blink 182.
Really?
Yes, I am a sucker for Blink 182, Sum 41, like the old school guys.
Like early, like I mean,
Yes.
they're obviously still popular now, but like kind of like the old school,
Yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah, they were like the bands that really created pop punk along with Green Day. I feel like those were like the bands to listen to if you wanted to listen to pop punk.
Yeah. And I know that you mentioned briefly, you know, you've met Andy Biersack of Black Veil Brides multiple times, but are there artists that you've had the opportunity to meet? And if so, like who's been your favorite, genuinely? If you have.
Ooh. Oh man,
Another
that's
tough
a tough
one?
one.
Yeah.
That really is a tough one because the artists I've met, I just enjoy so much. You know,
Yeah.
they're all great people. They all just have like this special thing about them that's, you know, it's contagious.
Yeah. Music, and especially once you go to your first show, you crave it even more. It's true.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've met Andy from Black Veil Brides. You know, the entire band from Avenged Sevenfold, Bullet for My Valentine, Breaking Benjamin. Oh my God. Yeah, and just like so many other bands.
Yeah.
They're more smaller. Honestly, I'm going to probably say from this past summer, my favorite person that I've met. I don't remember the
Was it
bands.
a local or?
It was not. Let's see. They sing. They have a really popular song. You know, it goes Into the Night, I Drink and Drive. Oh, Dayseeker.
Dayseeker. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
They were at
Yes.
Rockfest in Cadott. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. They're
Honestly,
really good live.
yes.
Rory Rodriguez. He's wow, what a voice on that man.
Yeah. Honestly, that was probably my favorite. Like they were probably my favorite people to meet. Was Rory and the rest of Dayseeker.
Oh wow. How did you manage that? Was it around the side stage at Rockfest, or was it like you got a pass? Or did you just track them down like people do at Rockfest?
I just tracked them down. I was standing behind the stage where they exited.
See,
I was just like,
Rory. That is how I met Bad Flower. Was
Oh,
that?
really?
Yeah. We can talk about that more later. But similar experience. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Oh yeah, if you don't do that at least once, you're not a fan.
Speaking of other artists as well, has there ever been an artist that you saw that compared to their recorded music, they don't hit the same live when you hear them?
Personally, for me, it was Godsmack.
Yeah.
Like their music's good, but it's just their stage presence when they were at Rockfest this past summer just really turned me off.
Yeah.
Like I get it, you're a multi-instrumentalist. I'm one too, but like I don't go ahead and have like a drum battle for 25 minutes.
I must
to
have
kill a
left
set.
after that or before that because I don't remember that.
Yeah, they had a drum battle
Okay.
between the singer and the actual drummer for like 25 minutes, and I was kind of dreading it. I'm like, when's this gonna end?
But they were still good though, instrumentally, right? They
Instrumentally,
weren't
they
like
were, yeah.
what I mean by like, not as good live compared to their recorded works. I mean like, you're listening to their music and then you see them live and it's like, okay, that is definitely auto-tuned or it's just not, doesn't hit the same.
Yeah.
Like, has there been any artists like that you've seen?
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, back when I saw Machine Gun Kelly, there was it was Avril Lavigne and there was
Mod Sun?
no. There was another artist that was with Machine Gun Kelly during his tour.
Yeah. But they weren't the same as the expectations.
Well, what was funny is that he was lip syncing, except just to hype up the crowd, they turned his mic on. But I don't know if that was
Okay.
I don't know if it was like the audio engineer's fault. But Oh my God. He just did not do it.
No.
It was not for me.
No.
Definitely let down.
Yeah. That's disappointing when you go to a show that you're really excited about, or you're seeing an artist that you loved and adored for so long, and it's not the same as your expectations going in are so high, and then you just get let down. Mm-hmm. That's the worst.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know that personally as well, and again, the same experience we shared at Rockfest with one of the artists that we saw.
Yeah.
On that note, with music and everything, so where can listeners tune into your music?
So anyone who's interested in listening to my music, I'm out on all music streaming platforms such as YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, literally whatever you use, I'm out on there. And what's funny is I actually just remembered the name of that artist that I didn't like live.
Yeah.
It was Ian Dior.
Ian, who?
Ian Dior.
Okay. I'll have to look that up later tonight.
Yeah, like his music's good. It's just he was lip syncing the whole time, and that just it was just I felt let down. Like it might have just been karaoke at that point.
Yeah.
At least that's my interpretation of it.
Yeah.
And I see, Drew, you're wearing some bra merch. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm wearing Bruh clothing, that is BRUH, and they are a small skate shop company out of, I believe, Minnesota or Michigan. It was one of those states. And if you want some of these nice, comfortable clothes, I would recommend going onto their website and picking up some of that. Use promo code DL15 for 15% off your order.
That's great. Well, I just want to say thank you, Drew, for coming into the studio and joining me tonight. And so thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight for my first show. It's going to be Wednesday, first Wednesday of every month. I'll be interviewing local artists. We'll be back on the air November 1st. And coming up this weekend, we have more shows on Radio GBX. Saturday, we got back-to-back Radioactive Dreams from 4 to 6 and Grace's Mixtape from 6 to 8. Now, the show is over.